We are closing that fist right here. But I'm so proud of the way that you came together, the way that you fought.
Now watch when she starts giving individual credit. Let me know if y'all hear Caitlin Clark's name.
In that fourth quarter and those runs, the way that we came together going into overtime, coming together and finishing this game. Yes. All right, great job.
Watch this locker room moment carefully. The Indiana Fever just survived overtime against the Chicago Sky after blowing a 19-point lead at home. Caitlin Clark just dropped 30 points with a double-double, went 11 for 11 from the free throw line, and essentially saved her coach's job. And now Stephanie White is about to address the team. Listen for one specific name. See if you can catch it.
That we grew today. Yeah. We grew today. I'm proud of you guys.
You grew. You blew a freaking 19-point lead at home and was forced to go into overtime versus a team that's tanking, one of the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league, Chicago Sky. This team is absolute trash, and you had to go to overtime with them. Stop it. Ain't no we grew. Caitlin Clark bailed y'all out again. Aaliyah Boston bailed y'all out. What are you talking about?
Career high 34 points.
Did you hear it? Aaliyah Boston, career high 34 points. Absolutely deserved recognition. But 30 seconds of praise for the team's collective effort, individual shout-outs for Boston, and not a single word about the player who actually closed this game. Not one mention of Caitlin Clark's 30-point performance. Not one word about going perfect from the free throw line in a game that went to overtime. This isn't an accident. This is a pattern, and it's getting worse every single game.
I think I said this when C was drafted here. It's like when you have the bookends, when you have a point guard, and you have a center, that are special. You can build a team around that. And certainly then you add in Kelsey, who had already been here, and she had a quiet 19, right?
Now let's jump to the post-game press conference. Same game, same coach, and watch who gets the credit at the podium. Stephanie White is about to talk about her team's performance, and pay close attention to which players she highlights when the media asks about the win.
Oh, you could throw it on Kelsey. She had a quiet 19. What do you mean? She almost lost you the damn game. She pulled a De'Aaron Fox with a minute left. You're up 5. You don't need to do anything. Just run the clock out. This girl, I'm trying to score my 20 points. Let me go force a layup. Miss. And they go and cut the lead to 3. What are you even bringing her up for? She's part of the...
There it is again. Kelsey Mitchell had a quiet 19 points. That's the phrase Stephanie White uses. A quiet 19. Let's be clear about what actually happened in this game. Kelsey Mitchell shot 6 of 17 from the field. She forced a terrible layup attempt with under a minute left in regulation when the Fever were up 5 points and just needed to run clock. That miss gave Chicago life. Then on the final possession of regulation, Mitchell had the ball stripped. It went off her leg out of bounds, and the Sky tied it up to force overtime. But somehow at this podium, Kelsey Mitchell gets praised for her quiet 19, while Caitlin Clark's 30-point double-double doesn't even warrant a mention.
Play calling.
Look at it.
She lied to her. She checked in the game. It's the same play. Same play as last time. I'm going to come off the screen, get 2 free throws. We're going to walk out of this gym, right? Okay, call a timeout. We get the ball at half. They lied to Caitlin Clark. And then Stephanie White has to explain herself after she almost cost them the game. Watch this. Instead, trying to get cute and get Kelsey Mitchell some more points. Look at Caitlin Clark.
Bro, Caitlin Clark is wide open right here.
This is where it gets truly bizarre. Stephanie White just called a timeout with seconds left in regulation. The Fever have the ball. They're tied. 1 possession to win it. Caitlin Clark comes to the huddle expecting the same play they just ran successfully moments earlier. She's going to come off a screen, get fouled, shoot 2 free throws, and end this game. She's 11 for 11 from the line. It's the obvious call. Watch what happens instead.
Coming wide open. Y'all just ran this inbound play. Throw the ball into Caitlin Clark. But you want to force it to Kelsey Mitchell, and look what happened.
Her hands up with the Caitlin Clark. And then Stephanie White has to explain herself after she almost cost them the game. Watch this. Instead, trying to get cute and get Kelsey Mitchell some more points. Look at Caitlin Clark. Her hands up. What the heck happened? Kelsey Mitchell drops the pass. She knows they messed up. They try to get cute.
Look at Caitlin's face. That's not confusion. That's betrayal. Stephanie White changed the play. Instead of giving the ball to their best free throw shooter who hasn't missed all night, they're running an inbound play designed for Kelsey Mitchell. Clark is standing wide open on the wing, hands up, ready to receive the pass. The exact same spot where she just got fouled and made 2 free throws. But the play call goes to Mitchell, who fumbles the inbound pass, and now they're scrambling. This isn't coaching. This is sabotage disguised as strategy.
Why would you do that? But look at this. She's going to muster up some words and try to explain why she changed the play to get Kelsey Mitchell the ball. Caitlin Clark, look at her face. She's lost all hope, all faith in Stephanie White. She said no. You know the play. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe.
And then it gets even more ridiculous. After Mitchell bobbles the inbound, after the play completely falls apart, after they're forced to call another timeout with barely any time left, watch what Stephanie White draws up next. I'm not kidding. The designed play is to throw the ball off the backboard to themselves. That's the actual play call. Caitlin Clark is standing there watching this unfold, and you can see it on her face. She's lost all faith in her coach's decision-making.
It's getting really weird now. It's weird, it's strange, it's stupid. The fact that Stephanie White refuses to credit Caitlin Clark, especially in front of the team, like she already didn't want to give her no credit for the game winner versus the Washington Mystics when she bailed her out.
Let's go back to the beginning of this video for a second. Listen to how the original creator frames this situation, because he's picking up on something that Fever fans have been noticing for weeks now. This isn't about one game. This is about a systematic pattern of Stephanie White refusing to give Caitlin Clark credit, especially in front of the team, especially at the podium, especially in moments where it would be absolutely natural to acknowledge what just happened.
Now Caitlin Clark bailed you out again, you and Kelsey Mitchell, but for whatever reason, you want to keep trying to credit Kelsey Mitchell at the podium. It's weird. It's odd. It makes no sense. And once again, in the locker room, do y'all think Stephanie White gave Caitlin Clark any credit? Absolutely not. We got to get into it, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated as always.
Think about the Washington Mystics game he mentions. Same exact dynamic. Caitlin Clark hits a game winner, bails out the coaching staff after questionable decisions down the stretch, and Stephanie White finds a way to credit everyone except the player who actually made the shot. Now it's happened again against Chicago. 30 points, 7 rebounds, 11 for 11 from the free throw line, and the only individual praise in the locker room goes to Aaliyah Boston. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. Boston absolutely deserved recognition for her career night. 34 points is exceptional. But when you're a coach addressing your team after a win, and one player just had a historic shooting performance that literally saved the game in overtime, how do you not mention her name even once?
Double with 7 rebounds to go along with it. Not a single word. All she said was Aaliyah Boston, career high, which is great. Congratulations, Aaliyah Boston. You couldn't say anything about Stephanie White. I mean, you couldn't say anything about Caitlin Clark, Stephanie White. It's ridiculous.
Here's what makes this particularly damaging. Stephanie White isn't just the head coach. She's supposed to be the player's advocate, the person building confidence, the leader who recognizes contributions publicly to reinforce positive behavior. Sports Psychology 101 says, you praise in public and criticize in private. But with Caitlin Clark, we're seeing the opposite. Public silence about her achievements, public praise for everyone around her, and play-calling decisions that actively undermine her in crucial moments. This creates a toxic dynamic where the best player on the team starts to question whether her coach even wants her to succeed. And let's talk about what this does to team chemistry. The other players aren't blind. They see Stephanie White going out of her way to credit Kelsey Mitchell for a quiet 19 points on 6 of 17 shooting, while ignoring Caitlin's 30-point masterpiece. They see the coach changing plays away from the hot hand. They see the favoritism, and it creates division. Some players start to resent Clark because they think she's getting special treatment by being the face of the franchise, while simultaneously watching their coach treat her like an afterthought. Other players lose respect for the coaching staff because the decisions don't match the results on the floor. Either way, the locker room fractures. Now think about this from Caitlin Clark's perspective. She's a rookie, first year in the WNBA, trying to prove she belongs at this level. She's dealing with enormous pressure as the #1 overall pick, carrying the weight of unprecedented media attention, facing physical play from opponents every single night, and handling all of it with remarkable maturity. She goes out and has the kind of game that should earn effusive praise from her head coach. 30 points, perfect from the free throw line, clutch baskets in overtime to secure the win. And her reward is complete silence in the locker room, followed by her coach praising Kelsey Mitchell's inefficient 19 points at the podium. What message does that send? It tells Caitlin that no matter what she does, no matter how well she performs, no matter how many times she bails out the coaching staff's questionable decisions, she will not receive public acknowledgement from the person who's supposed to be leading this team. That's not coaching. That's psychological warfare. And if you think I'm exaggerating, go back and watch Caitlin's body language during that timeout when Stephanie White changed the play. That's not a player who trusts her coach. That's a player who's realized she's on her own. The Kelsey Mitchell obsession is particularly strange. Look, Mitchell is a good player. She's been with the Fever for years. She's a veteran presence, and she has her role on this team. But Stephanie White talks about her like she's the second coming of Diana Taurasi. A quiet 19 points on 6 of 17 shooting. Think about that phrase, quiet 19. That's coach speak for, she didn't play particularly well, but I need to find something positive to say about her. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's 30-point double-double doesn't even register as worth mentioning. The disparity is staggering. And it's not like this is a one-time thing. The pattern has been building all season. Every post-game press conference, Stephanie White finds ways to deflect credit away from Caitlin and spread it around to everyone else. Now, sharing credit is fine. Teams win together. But when it becomes obvious that one specific player is being systematically excluded from praise while everyone around her gets highlighted, that's not team building. That's targeted dismissal. Here's the part that should worry Fever fans the most. Caitlin Clark is going to be a free agent eventually. She's going to have options. She's going to be the most sought-after player in the league when her rookie contract is up. And if this is the environment Indiana is creating for her, if this is how their coaching staff treats their generational talent, why would she stay? Imagine being Caitlin, watching coaches from other teams talk glowingly about their star players, seeing how other organizations build their entire system around maximizing their best talent, and then coming back to a locker room where your coach won't even say your name after you drop 30 points in a win. The Chicago Sky game should have been a coronation. The Fever were up 19 points at home. They should have cruised to an easy victory. Instead, questionable rotations and poor late-game management let Chicago back into the game. The lead evaporated. Kelsey Mitchell made crucial mistakes down the stretch. And then Caitlin Clark once again had to rescue the entire operation. She hit big shots in overtime. She went perfect from the free throw line. She created opportunities for teammates. She did everything a franchise player is supposed to do in that situation. And her coach's response was to praise Kelsey Mitchell's quiet 19 points. Let's also address the play-calling disaster at the end of regulation. Stephanie White had a timeout, a tied game, and the ball with seconds remaining. Her best player is shooting 100% from the free throw line and just got fouled on a similar play moments earlier. The defense knows it's coming, but it doesn't matter because Caitlin is automatic from the stripe. You run the same play, you get her fouled, she makes 2 free throws, you win the game. It's not complicated, but Stephanie White got cute. She changed the play to get Kelsey Mitchell involved. Mitchell, who had been struggling all game, who had already made critical errors, who was not the hot hand. The play broke down immediately. Mitchell couldn't handle the inbound pass cleanly. The ball went off her leg. Chicago got possession and tied it up. The game went to overtime entirely because the coach made a decision that prioritized getting a specific player touches over winning the game in regulation. And then, after that disaster, after watching the Mitchell-focused play fall apart, Stephanie White calls another timeout and draws up a play where they throw the ball off the backboard to themselves. I'm not making this up. That was the actual designed play. Throw it off the glass and hope someone can corral it and get a shot off. That's not NBA Jam. That's not playground basketball. That's a professional coach in a WNBA game drawing up a prayer play when she has Caitlin Clark, who just went 11 for 11 from the free throw line, standing on the court. The frustration on Caitlin's face during those timeouts tells you everything you need to know. She's not confused about the X's and O's. She understands basketball at an elite level. She's frustrated because she knows the right play, she knows she's the right option, and she's watching her coach deliberately choose something else. That's the moment trust breaks down between a player and a coach. That's the moment a franchise player starts counting down the days until she can leave. So where does this go from here? If Stephanie White continues this pattern, if she keeps finding ways to avoid crediting Caitlin Clark publicly, if she keeps making decisions that undermine her best player, the Fever are going to have a serious problem. You cannot build a championship team around a player your coach refuses to empower. You cannot create a winning culture when your leader won't acknowledge the performances that are keeping you competitive. And you absolutely cannot retain generational talent when that talent feels disrespected and undervalued by the coaching staff. Fever fans should be paying very close attention to this dynamic, not just for this season, but for the long-term future of the franchise. Caitlin Clark is the kind of player you build around for a decade. She's the kind of talent that sells out arenas, drives television ratings, and attracts other stars who want to play alongside her. But only if the organization treats her like the cornerstone she is. Only if the coaching staff publicly supports her and designs systems to maximize her abilities. Only if she feels valued and respected. Right now, based on what we're seeing in locker rooms and press conferences, Based on the play calling decisions and the credit distribution, Caitlin Clark has every reason to feel like her coach doesn't appreciate what she brings to this team. 30 points, 11 for 11 from the free throw line, clutch performance in overtime, and not a single mention in the locker room. That's not an oversight, that's a choice. And it's the wrong choice for a franchise that should be doing everything possible to make their generational talent feel like the centerpiece of their future. The question Fever fans need to be asking is simple. Is Stephanie White the right coach for this team? Can she put aside whatever is driving this pattern and start giving Caitlin Clark the public support and credit she's earned? Or is this going to continue until it poisons the relationship beyond repair? Because make no mistake, if this keeps happening, if Caitlin continues to bail out her coach only to be ignored in favor of praising everyone else, there will come a day when she decides she's had enough. And on that day, the Indiana Fever will lose the best thing that's happened to their franchise in years. All because their coach couldn't bring herself to say one simple sentence: Caitlin Clark was phenomenal tonight.